Okay, so first I tried to do his hair, and now I realize I should have done some back hair, but it's too late for that now. And so, yeah. Generally have trouble with the eyes, but this time I got the eyes right, so I duplicated it. I tried to do just a toothy smile for the first thing. Yeah, it's like the part of a shirt, or the skin, I don't know. But yeah, here's the shirt. I generally like make that position, then I erase some of the arm in order to make him do something. Generally it's waving. So yeah, and I just couldn't get his arm right. It was too long, then too short, then too skinny, then too fat, and it just took forever to get right. And so yeah, that's what you're gonna see me doing for hours and hours on end. Joke. But yeah, this is yeah, it's taking way too long just to fix the arm. Fix it past me. So yeah, I did what I normally do, and I just took a circle and added it on there after with one of those pre-made circles. And so yeah, here's the thing. Abit Frank, it's next. Okay, so I try to make hers like as close to the original as possible. So yeah, I looked at the reference photo way too much for her, and it ended up not even looking like her. So yeah, I made her nose, and I added a little divot at the end because why not? And in her subscribe photo, she has purple eyes, so I added purple eyes. That little So yeah, I tried to make it fade, but the stupid app I was using couldn't tell the difference between dark purple and light purple. I added the mouth, and I made her body a triangle, which I actually had way too much trouble doing. It wasn't hard, just too much trouble. And she makes it look like it's unfinished, as make it creepier. So that's what I tried to do. Gave her like noodle arms, noodle arms. And so yeah, here's the final thing. Next is Haminations. So yeah, this one took me way too long to do, and it's mainly because of the stupid hair. So yeah, first I had to try to get the arm image right, which didn't take too long. What took the longest was just like that part, just making the lines look normal. So yeah, you're gonna see me just struggle, erase, and redraw lines a bunch, which it won't seem that long now because it's fast forwarding. But yeah, that took me way longer than it should have. So I just decided to ignore it and then color in his hair. Made one darker, then one lighter. Kept trying to make the lines again, still didn't work. So yeah. And by now I thought I was done. Then I realized I had to do the body. So I drew a really tiny body, which I then realized was too tiny. So I redrew the entire body to be thicker. But I didn't want him to look like he was wearing shoulder pads like that. That would be weird. But yeah. Then I fixed it. Added the two arms with pre-made lines that come with the app. And yeah, so I tried to like make the arms a normal length. And then I drew the hand on his shirt, which honestly the mouth took me way too long, even though I've done it like he's just I don't know why it took me so long. So yeah, colored it all in, and here's final versus normal thing. Next is Brody Animates. Okay, so his hair, honestly, this took me way less time than I thought it would take me. His hair. Then I made his toque, or beanie. I didn't know what did make him look like, but then I just made him drool, because why not? So yeah, I made the body, which was too tiny, just like Haminations. You'll see that's a problem I generally have with these things I make. So yeah, then I colored in his beautiful little face using multiple layers, which I did with Haminations too earlier. So yeah, you'll see that I am bad with skin tones because it's always way darker than I mean for it to be. Then I made little Fred and Greg. There we go. Alex's corner is next. Yeah, I made her hair like way, way too thick, which you'll see later. Because now it's like, yeah. So I try to like make it a lighter shade of gray, like she normally does with her videos, or a person thingy. I was about to call it a creature. So yeah, but when I looked at it, it just always looked wrong whenever I would draw over it. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, she also has eyes that are way too big, so she looks like an anime. I made her little heart floating hair thing. So yeah, Body was next. It was the same as all the other bodies, minus the shoulder pads with Hamination. And, yeah. I actually I'm kind of upset because I didn't really do anything. Also, the lines, I know doesn't really look good. They did end up doing like the waving thing like they do with all the other human beings. And, yeah, I made like them look like her shirt looked like striped candy canes, which I didn't mean to do, but it ended up looking like that anyways. And so, yeah, now on that one side, the arm just looks awful, but at least it did enough lines. And, yeah, too dark. Here's the final thing. Scribblejuice. Scribblejuice. Do. I don't know. So, yeah, her head and hair was first. I did the same thing with her that I did with, last human, Alex's corner. So, yeah, I added a green hair tie since green is her color, but as you can see, that ponytail is far too out when generally you can barely tell that she has a ponytail. So, yeah, this doesn't even look like Scribblejuice. But you can tell it's a human, unlike my last character that I drew. That I'll totally show you in a little while. So, yeah, I made her hair with, like, like, undone, like, slightly undone, like her normal character. Did the body, just like normal. So, yeah, the lines took me way too long than expected. And there's the final thing. Next is Yong Tails. He's just a box. Way too easy to draw. I mean, it doesn't look like it's the actual thing for some reason. But, yeah, I added a scorpion because that was, like, he had a couple pet scorpions. And I was bored. Didn't just want to draw a box with legs. And final thing. Loren makes arts next. She hasn't made videos in a while, and I'm sad about that, but whatever, who cares? So, yeah, her hair was more complicated than it was supposed to be, Loren. But, yeah, then I colored it in, and, yeah, I added her crown, which is floating in the air like Sultan's sketches, and when it was supposed to be, like, mounted on her head, also too bright, but whatever. So, yeah, did her body just like normal. Yeah, honestly, not too much to complain about, other than I did this weird thing where I used both hands, even though generally I would only make one if she's, like, waving. So, yeah, here I realized that, I didn't realize until way later that the arm was too long and didn't make sense. So, yeah, I redid it, and still, right here, it's too long, but I won't notice that until I take forever to make it look natural, like the shoulders naturally connected to the arm, which I redid it again. And, yeah, it makes more sense, like, for how long it is, but the shoulder looks way too fake, and it looks way too unnatural. I honestly would have preferred one of the other ones, but too late to change that. So, yeah, here you go. The sea rabbit is next. So is hair. I don't know why I'm having trouble with these people's hair. I mean, Jaden Animations, it makes sense. Her hair is complicated, but this, it doesn't make sense. I just don't know why I can't draw hair. I should have named my channel Lizzie Can't Draw Hair instead of Lizzie Can't Draw. Comedy. Okay, so anyways, this was way harder than it was supposed to be, like I just mentioned. But anyways, I got through it. I still hate how the hair looks, but whatever. I made the lines, and right here, I still couldn't be done with the hair because it just looked off. It always looked off to me. So, yeah. Here you go. I kept looking at the photo and noticing things wrong with it. So this, after a couple edits, that one strand, it's the closest I could make it. So, yeah. Next, I drew the eyes. I was going to make it look like his normal character, but then I realized I was going to draw the actual sea rabbit, so I wanted him to be, like, in awe of a sea rabbit right in front of him, so it looks less like his normal character and more like him cutified. I don't know why I'm calling it that, but whatever. His mouth's smaller, like I generally do my characters, even though it should have been larger. The sea rabbit was also extremely hard, which it shouldn't have been. Everything is hard. My life is hard. But yeah, I made one ear larger than the other, which I'm still annoyed at, but whatever. Then one eye just couldn't look like the other, and I was just, that eye was perfect, so I didn't want to redo it again because I knew it wouldn't be good enough. And then that eye just looks fake, and I hate it, but whatever. So yeah, the body was also really hard. But after a couple looks at it, I got one side that the other just didn't like me. But yeah. So I just went to the pause, tried redrawing it, didn't work a couple more times. Then I decided, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna, fine, whatever. And yeah, I finally did it. So I connected the head to the body instead of making them two separate things, added some hair to make it look more realistic, added some bubbles, and boom, there you go. Next, you have Eli Murphy. For some reason, I just couldn't get the head shape right. Probably because it was more for the other shapes, they were more round, but for his shape, it was more geometric and sharp, like his eyes, which I'll explain later. But yeah, his hair. Why can't I draw hair all of a sudden? I mean, I don't get it. Also, I tried to draw the ears to make the hair easier, but the ears just looked weird, so I decided to not go with them. And I keep giving him 80s haircuts, but I don't know why I keep doing that. It's not supposed to look like, it's just not supposed to look 80s. It's supposed to look normal. You're supposed to be normal, Liz. So, yeah, finally got it down. And, yeah. So I started to draw the eyes, and I was like, oh, wait, his eyes are more round. And he's got square pupils, which it felt more like Invader Sim, so I decided to go off formula and make them more circle. The eyebrows, I don't like drawing eyebrows, and you'll see why now, because they're too big and bushy, and I hate it. So, yeah, I gave him just a bored look. I didn't move his arms at all. This guy honestly looks the least like his original character, in my opinion. I gave him little tiger stripes because he's a tiger. I drew a Rubik's Cube on his shirt because I think that's what's on his original shirt, and there you go. Normal. That was harder than expected. Anyway, guys, remember to be you, be kind, and lobsters paired of their eyes. Look it up.